Hey there Cosmic Warriors, and welcome back to another video. And if you are new here, my name is Hannah. I am a Western practical astrologer, and I'm here today to talk about the Taurus personality. So we are going to be looking at the personal planets within the sign of Taurus, as well as the Taurus Rising. The personal planets being the Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus and Mars, so stay tuned. But before we do dive into today's video, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button and click the bell. And if you are interested in a personal reading from myself, then you can visit my website hannahselsewhere.com. There you can also find my practical astrology ebooks and merch. All the links to these things will be in the description box below. I do hope that you find this video to be helpful today. Let's do this. Okay, so before we do get into this, make sure to comment below your Taurus placements. Let us know if you have any Taurus placements and if you resonate with what is said today. We begin just looking at the Taurus personality overall. If you have a Taurus personality, you are determined, methodical, thorough, and dependable. You may be slow to action, but once you get going, okay, you are persistent, you're consistent, you are unwavering. You can go after the things you desire in a slow and patient way. You'll wait for as long as you need to for things to come to fruition. You'll be steadfast when it comes to your goals. If you have Mars in Taurus, you'll slowly and gradually share your feelings and your emotions if you have the Moon in Taurus. And you'll move at a steady pace within relationships if you have Venus in Taurus. Essentially, everything will happen on its own time. Why push to make something happen now or today when there is always tomorrow or next week or next month? See, this is the other thing. There can also be times when you prolong things. Whilst Aries types are already starting their creative projects and they're making their ideas happen, you're sitting on the sidelines, planning, preparing, and truly contemplating if the next project is really worth it. Will it be useful? Can you make money from it? Will it help you sustain your physical security? Will you like it even? And really, physical security means everything to you, Taurus. You must feel secure, and your materials and finances must reflect this sense of security. Now, this isn't to say that you're all money hungry people. You're just after money and wealth. In fact, I have noticed many Taurus types who are content with what they have, with what they own, rather than being obsessed with wealth and gaining material items. Sure, some of you can be like this as well, but basically security can come in many different forms. And it's you guys that strongly take your security and livelihood into consideration. But back to the main point here, you can be the types of people who are slow to change. You can put something off for a long time, procrastination perhaps, or fear of failure, or maybe you depend so strongly on your comforts that you don't want things to change. You value what you have and who is in your life as well. Still, it's difficult to get through to you when you insist on things remaining the same. You can be quite habitual people too. You might enjoy your routines and your daily practices, or you might know exactly what you love and enjoy, and so you'll stick to such things. Why would you change things when you're so content and happy in what you've already done or what you already have? Then again, as you do get older, you are more likely to be flexible and adaptable. You grow to be curious. You'll be open to learning new things. And let's also not forget how kind, loving, and calming you can be. You're the types of people who make others around you feel anchored and grounded. Okay, so let's move on to these personal planets and their rising sign in Taurus. So we're going to look at the Taurus rising to begin with. If your rising is in Taurus, when other people first meet you, they are greeted with these qualities of comfort, steadiness, calmness, and kindness. You might be a slow walker, or you move at your own pace throughout life. You aren't in a rush to get anywhere, and you are very intentional with your movements. You can also be deliberate when it comes to your aims, when it comes to your ambitions. You'll plan things out and be careful about the steps and actions you take. Moreover, you can come across as attentive and reliable. You can possess a chilled and laid back demeanor, or you can come across as bullheaded or as lazy at times. It really all depends on the day, depends on the mood. Plus, you're also very beautiful and sensual people. You know what you like and desire, and such things are quite obvious to others. Often, perhaps you get told by others just how down to earth and laid back you are, or how beautiful and reliable you are. Let's remember here that when it comes to the rising sign, when it comes to the first house, this is the house that says, I am. Now, it's also important to locate your chart ruler, which is Venus, because your Venus placement is going to give you more information about what I've discussed today. It's going to give you more information about your desires, your values, your beauty, and it'll also provide you with more information about your comforts. Essentially, your journey of self-discovery is tied to your security, commitments, and endurance. The Sun in Taurus. So your ego is strongly tied to your resources, materials, security, and stability, meaning your very self-importance is tied to these things, which can be done so in a negative or a positive way. You express yourself in a calming way, and you'll take your time conveying your thoughts and your feelings. Though on the other hand, if others try to test your patience or if they push you, you can dig your heels in as you refuse to listen to the other person or people who are testing you. But at the same time, if you can sense that others are considering you or they're making an effort, you can't compromise. After all, your sun is ruled by Venus, and Venus is very much the planet of compromise and cooperation. You'll also express yourself in a beautiful way here. You'll dress in stylish clothes, or maybe you will make an effort when it comes to your hair, when it comes to your makeup. You can be quite glamorous at times when you want to be, but you can also dress down, okay? Or you can dress in more comfortable clothes, and clothes that just, they sit well, they feel really nice. Maybe the sort of texture of your clothes, how they feel. These things really, really matter. And when you love a style of music or a way of cooking, for example, you'll most likely listen continuously to that music or be quite traditional about what you cook. You know, you'll cook the same types of things. Naturally here though, make sure to consider the aspects you have to the sun, or if you have other placements, which makes what I'm saying quite different. Though still, you tend to be habitual people and you value the things that you love. You may consistently go back to the same things because it's like, I love this so much. Though do make sure to consider the house that your sun in Taurus is in, because this will tell you the area of life that this energy is playing out in. Hi, it's me again. So I just wanted to inform you about the practical astrology guide that I have created. So it is a 20-day practical astrology guide, and it covers the ins and outs of astrology, looking also at how a natal chart is created. It touches on the astrological ages, it looks at astronomy as well, and also looking at those practical representations of the 7 classical planets and the angular points. So if you are someone who is interested in astrology, you're new to it, even if you are an astrology student or you're an astrologer, because we can all learn something different from each other, I definitely recommend this guide. My whole intention with this guide is that you will walk away from it thinking of astrology, hopefully practically and also differently. And my major key aim really with this guide is using the stars for self-awareness. So learning about astrology, but also learning more about yourself and learning more about other people. Plus, it is super affordable, costing only about £2 per day. Though, if you are interested in just a little taster, so looking at you dipping your toes into what this guide is all about, that is available for you as well. Moving on to the moon in Taurus. Okay, so we are going from expressing the Taurus traits to feeling and internalizing these traits. You are internally stable, patient, attentive, and habitual. You might not show these qualities to people when you first meet them, but you need these qualities to be supported and nurtured. And if not, you will insist on having your way, even if others don't agree. Not to mention, there can be this type of rage that actually comes out. Ever seen how a bull reacts when bullfighters wave that red cape? Which, by the way, bullfighting is so cruel and it's so terrible. But the point here that I'm trying to make is bulls become enraged, and they charge. Meaning when you are provoked or taunted, you can go from 0 to 100, but it can take a while to get you there. So yeah, sure, it'll take a lot to get a strong emotional reaction from you, but you do have your limits. This also applies to sadness, joy, excitement, and worry, for instance. And what I'm further saying here is you're typically very chilled emotionally, okay? But then there is also this fixed and strong and focused attitude that you have when it comes to your emotions. And people usually can predict how you're going to react to something due to how predictable your emotional reactions can be. And even on that note, it can be difficult to change your emotional reactions to things. Though naturally, do also consider the aspects being made to your Taurus moon as well as other placements. And also, the moon is exalted in Taurus, meaning the moon is being fully expressed in this sign. I suppose this makes sense, seeing as your emotional reactions and needs, they're consistent. And you also deeply care about your emotional and physical security. Though do make sure to consider the house that your moon in Taurus is in, because this will tell you the area of life that this energy is playing out in. Mercury in Taurus. You are a steady communicator, a steady learner, and a steady teacher. You'll take your time when it comes to communicating your point of view, and you can be patient with other people who are learning from you. You value what you have to say. You also value what other people have to say, provided that they value what you say. And when it comes to learning subjects and topics yourself, you'll make sure that all areas are covered. You'll also try to figure out how the information you're learning can be applied practically, how the information can be useful to you. You are quite level-headed and rational, and when others go off into their dream world, when they are being too idealistic, you bring them back to earth. You help ground others mentally and psychologically, and you help them refocus, re-strategize. And so for these reasons, you make excellent teachers and mentors. Not to mention, you're quite visual people, very artistic, very creative. And when you have a vision in mind that you want to bring to life, you'll do so in a very beautiful and stylish and tasteful way. Also, you prefer to learn at your own pace. You do not like being rushed. And when it comes to the likes of driving, commuting, and moving throughout your local city or neighborhood, you'll also move at your own pace. Everything on its own time. And you prefer to enjoy the process as well. You want to take it all in. Naturally, do also consider the aspects being made to your Taurus Mercury as well as other placements. But overall, you are patient when it comes to the likes of writing, speaking, and media. And you're also thorough and methodical. Oh, and you're also going to be realistic when it comes to yourself and with other people. Now, do make sure to consider the house that your Mercury in Taurus is in, because this will tell you the area of life or show you the area of life that this energy is playing out in. Moving on to Venus in Taurus. So we are bringing this committed, sensual, realistic, and patient energy of Taurus, and we're applying it to your relationships, your resources, and your finances. Therefore, you can be slow and methodical when it comes to love, for example. You take your time and you don't see the point in rushing. That way you can get to know someone for who they truly are. You can kind of say, are we a match? Are we compatible here? And you're also being careful about the types of relationship choices you're making. And as I was saying, security is important to you. Therefore, you refuse to get into a relationship or a partnership that isn't worth it, where you don't feel secure. It's not about doing these things for the sake of doing them. It's about realizing their usefulness, their stability. And when you decide to commit to someone, well, you are committed. Venus is home here. And so there is a strength when it comes to commitment and loyalty. But if you haven't decided to commit, you'll make it very clear to the other person. And when in love, you seek desire, sensuality, pleasure, and enjoyment. You seek to feel content. Though on the other hand, it's also likely that you can stay for longer in relationships that don't actually serve you. So you could be committed to someone for a very long period of time, and then you realize it's not working, but you still stay, thinking about the whole prolonged attitude when it comes to Taurus and the part of Taurus that doesn't like change. Moreover, when it comes to business partnerships, you want to feel like things are useful and worthwhile as well. You want to get plenty out of the agreement. You can actually be very determined when it comes to business matters, and in terms of finances, you're careful, you make a plan, but there can also be times when you're stingy, you're a penny pincher, and it's likely that you make money from design, fashion, or home fragrance products. Naturally, do also consider the aspects being made to your Taurus Venus as well as other placements. But ultimately, you seek security when it comes to your relationships and your finances, and you strongly value yourself. Though do also make sure to consider the house that your Venus in Taurus is in, because this will tell you the area of life that this energy is playing out in. And lastly, Mars in Taurus. Okay, so we touched on the angry expression of Taurus, the Taurus energy in the moon in Taurus section, but Mars is strongly tied to anger as well. And so when you are pushed by others and provoked, yes, you might try to remain calm, but there can be this raging part of you that comes out. This supercharged anger comes out, and it can be very difficult to stop it once it starts. You might attempt to destroy everything in your path. Now, you most likely will show these qualities when you're younger, but as you do get older, as you mature, you can manage these things much better. And also, I think it's about working on being direct with others when you're pissed off. So you might be passive, and so even when things bother you, you don't let on. It's just like, it's cool, it's all chill here. And so because you aren't more open and direct about such feelings, then you end up exploding. So yes, you can learn to manage these things better, And when it comes to achieving your goals, you can be slow to start things, but once you get going, you're a force to be reckoned with. You slowly, gradually, and intentionally pursue your goals, and you don't let others shake you throughout the process, depending on how secure you are within yourself, of course. Still, you can be very determined, and whilst the Mars in Aries has burnt out their energy for a bit, they're just resting for a little bit, recharging their batteries, you're still going. You're still going because you don't push as hard at the beginning. Kind of like the tortoise and the hare situation. Of course, both ways of executing energy can be beneficial for different purposes, different reasons. You pace your energy levels once you set a plan of action in place. That's if you try in the first place, though. After all, Mars is in detriment here, and so you might find it challenging to assert yourself. Perhaps as you get older, you learn to become more flexible, more movable, trying new things. Still, you make for incredible musicians, designers, singers, artists, and business owners. And you can be so comforting toward your clients, your friends, your lovers, your colleagues, and so on. Naturally, do also consider the aspects being made to your Taurus Mars as well as other placements, though essentially you are such pleasure seekers. You make your security, desires, and comforts main priorities in your life. Now, do also make sure to consider the house that your Mars in Taurus is in, because this will tell you the area of life that this energy is playing out in. Okay then, Cosmic Warriors, so that concludes my video talking all about the Taurus personality. Please do let me know if you find this video to be helpful today, and if you resonated with your placement. I would really appreciate that. And again, let us know your Taurus placements down below, and as always, let me know your thoughts and your opinions on today's video. But with all of that being said, thank you so much for watching, thank you for subscribing, and of course, if you would like to see more videos from myself and you have not yet subscribed, then make sure that you click that subscribe button and also give this video a like if you did like it today. And I will be back with another video very, very soon. Bye!